I don't want to say he's an assassin, but he's a tough guy. It's been proven over the years. He's fooled a lot of people. He fooled Bush. He fooled a lot of people. He fooled Clinton, Bush, Obama, Biden. He didn't fool me.
Hi guys, it's Seth. Welcome back to Warthog Defense. It seems that Trump had it enough. In the breaking news, President Trump has issued a bold ultimatum to Moscow. Reach a deal on Ukraine within 50 days or face severe tariffs. The warning signals a dramatic shift in pressure tactics, with economic punishment now on the table if Russia refuses to end its war of aggression. The US will impose severe tariffs on Russia unless it agrees to a deal on ending the war in Ukraine within 50 days, US President Donald Trump said in his long-anticipated announcement. We're gonna be doing very severe tariffs if we don't have a deal in 50 days. Tariffs that are about 100%, we call them secondary tariffs, Trump said during a joint press conference in the White House alongside NATO Secretary General Mark Rutte. The announcement comes amid growing frustration from Trump over Russia's delays in advancing peace efforts in Ukraine. The US president had initially vowed to broker a peace deal within 24 hours of taking office. Talking to journalists in the White House, the US president once again distanced himself from the Russia-Ukraine war, saying, "It wasn't my war, it was former US President Joe Biden's war. It's not my war, I'm trying to get you out of it. And we want to see it end. I'm disappointed in President Vladimir Putin because I thought we would have had a deal 2 months ago, but it doesn't seem to get there," he added. Recent weeks saw Russia ramp up aerial strikes across Ukrainian cities after repeatedly rejecting calls by Kyiv and its Western partners for a ceasefire. The secondary tariffs presented by Trump appear to fall short of a bipartisan US Senate bill, which seeks to impose a 5% tariff on imports from countries that continue purchasing Russian oil and raw materials. Trump and Rutte also unveiled a scheme under which NATO will purchase advanced arms from the US, including air defense systems, and deliver some of them to Ukraine. We're gonna make top-of-the-line weapons and they'll be sent to NATO. NATO may choose to have a certain number of them sent to other countries, where the country will release something, and it will mostly be in the form of a replacement, Trump explained. The scheme will be fully paid and coordinated by the alliance, he stressed. Rutte explained that the new plan means that Ukraine will get its hands on massive numbers of military equipment, both for air defense but also missiles, ammunition, etc. He added that the deal would not endanger the US's own military readiness. If I was Vladimir Putin today, I would reconsider whether I should take negotiations about Ukraine more seriously than I was doing at the moment, the NATO chief said. Germany and Norway recently voiced readiness to purchase at least 3 new Patriot batteries from US manufacturers and deliver them to Ukraine, strengthening the country's air defense capabilities. Trump has long been reluctant to greenlight additional arms for Kyiv, arguing that European countries should take on greater responsibility for aiding Ukraine, as well as for their own security. Recent reporting suggests that for the first time since taking office, Trump may approve a new military aid package for Ukraine under the Presidential Drawdown Authority. Here are some points from the meeting. NATO Secretary General Mark Rutte. Putin didn't send serious people to the negotiations in Istanbul.
And he didn't send serious people to the negotiations. So I remember that you were able with Marco Rubio and with Steve Witkoff to get these talks going in Istanbul.
Yep.
I remember I was myself in Turkey for NATO business in May, and we really put pressure on the Ukrainians to send a senior team into Istanbul, and they did. But then the Russians came up with this historian explaining history of Russia since 1250.
President Trump, I speak to him, Putin, a lot about getting this thing done. And I always hang up and say, well, that was a nice phone call. And then missiles are launched into Kyiv or some other city.
I speak to him a lot about getting this thing done. And I always hang up and say, well, that was a nice phone call. And then missiles are launched into Kiev or some other city. And I said, strange. And after that happens 3 or 4 times, you say, the talk doesn't mean anything. I go home, I tell the First Lady, you know, I spoke to Vladimir today. We had a wonderful conversation. She said, oh, really? Another city was just hit. So it's like, look, he's, I don't want to say he's an assassin, but he's a tough guy. It's been proven over the years. He's fooled a lot of people. He fooled Bush. He fooled a lot of people. He fooled Clinton, Bush, Obama, Biden. He didn't fool me. But what I do say is that at a certain point, you know, ultimately talk doesn't talk. It's got to be action. It's got to be result.
Satellite imagery confirms damage to the Russian Krasnozavodsk chemical plant, a facility involved in the production of thermobaric warheads for Shahed drones. The image, published by the Cyberburoshno open source intelligence OSINT project, shows part of a roof collapsed at one of the workshops following a drone strike. According to OSINT analysts, the presence of blast-proof yard structures suggests that the targeted building housed equipment for assembling and producing explosive devices. The plant manufactures a range of military-grade products, including illumination charges, gas generators for missiles and shells, propellant charges, and infrared decoy flares for aircraft. After a modernization effort that began in 2017, it also began producing various types of thermobaric munitions. According to Ukraine's general staff, the facility produces both pyrotechnics and ammunition, including thermobaric warheads for Shahed-type unmanned aerial vehicles. The attack occurred on the morning of July 7th. Witnesses reported hearing 7 explosions near the chemical plant. Earlier in July, Ukrainian drones targeted another warhead production site, the Scientific Research Institute of Applied Chemistry in Sergiev Posad, Moscow region. That facility is part of the state-owned defense conglomerate Rostec and is under international sanctions for its role in Russia's military programs. The plant currently manufactures thermobaric warheads for Shahed-type UAVs and is a critical component in Russia's war effort against Ukraine. Ukraine's general staff said in a statement, Ukrainian forces said their weapons hit the target directly, with fire and heavy smoke observed in the area. The Ukrainian Unmanned Systems Forces added that an electrical substation supplying the plant was also damaged in the strike. Italian Beretta SS790 assault rifles have been officially integrated into the arsenal of several Ukrainian military units. Among them, the 33rd Assault Regiment has showcased the rifles in service. These weapons were likely supplied as part of Italy's 10th and 11th Defense A packages to Ukraine, with the 10th package approved in December last year and the 11th following in May this year. Soldiers who trained with this rifle have noted both its advantages and drawbacks. It has too many small parts. You can't disassemble it without pliers or a bullet. Aiming is also much more difficult compared to an AK. It's heavier than an AK as well. Overall, it's a decent weapon, I just don't like it. The sights are poor and not as easy to operate as those on an AK. The folding stock is a big plus, one soldier shared. Beretta S7090 was developed as part of a program to create a family of automatic weapons chambered in 5.566 mm for the Italian army. The rifle was adopted by Italy in the 1990s and is still in use across various units. The SC7090 model is a variant adapted for airborne forces, featuring a folding side stock. The SC7090 rifle uses a gas-operated short-stroke piston system, providing high reliability in various operating conditions. Its 450mm barrel's length ensures good range and accuracy. One of the distinctive features of the SC7090 model is its folding stock, which makes the rifle more convenient for transport and use in confined spaces. Thanks to this feature, the weapon is ideally suited for paratroopers and urban combat, where mobility and maneuverability are crucial. Beretta SC7090 rifle. The rifle uses standard 30-round magazines chambered in 5.56x45mm, compatible with M16 magazines. The design of the rifle is noted for its ergonomics and good balance. The contoured handguard and comfortable grip allow for effective control during burst firing. The iron sights are mechanical and adjustable for range, but can be complemented with optical modules. Today, while Beretta SC70-90 is gradually being phased out in favor of more modern rifles like ARX-160, it continues to serve reliably in numerous units, including reserve forces.
Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe. Also, if you want to support Warthog Defense, please become our member and get early access to new videos, exclusive members-only videos, and become administrator in comment section. The membership link is in the description.
Rescues every day. We had a guy last week at 6 rescues in 6 days. You know, he's doing the job every day.